Thank you for staying with us. General Buhari is still our guest on the program. Let me start by asking you this time around, the issue of economy, the issue of the growth of the Nigerian economy has been talked about, dwindling oil prices. How would you tackle the issue of the challenges that we're facing in our economic life, considering the fact that we are reliant majorly on oil proceeds?
I think it's absolutely necessary to make people accountable. During this discussion, we talked about the hearing conducted about the mismanagement of the oil industry, where we depend up to about 95% of our foreign earnings. I think we should do what we can to stabilize the oil market, because other things that will complement our earnings, like agriculture, maybe mining, they will take time. The immediate one is how to stabilize the oil market and stop wastages from top to bottom, so that whatever revenue is realized is judiciously applied to the economic development of the country. But without bringing discipline into accountability, I'm afraid even if the oil price goes back to good old days of over $110 per barrel, we cannot see the difference. If we look at from 1999 to date, what Nigeria realized in terms of inflow of foreign exchange, Nigeria in relative terms have never received it since the amalgamation. But look at the infrastructure that has gone so bad, as we mentioned earlier here. So it's a question of really resource management, and it needs a disciplined government to get that done.
Let's talk about the issue of security. Insecurity, Major, you are from that region of the country. You are a former general in the military, and well, they say that a general is always a general anyways. You understand the tactics to fight this nature of war, so to say, because a lot of people believe that Nigeria is fighting a war. How do you think can the nation can best tackle the issue of insurgency?
It's a pity. We in Nigeria believe, and those who know Nigeria believe, that Nigeria is more than capable of dealing with this insurgency. If we can fight a civil war successfully for 30 long months without borrowing a kobo, we fought a 30-month civil war. General Gowon was the head of state. Chief of Femi Awolowo was the Minister of Finance and Deputy Chairman of the Executive Council. How is it that insurgents here, which started in some fraction of the country, this government, on top of what they are getting, according to the attempt made by the National Assembly to conduct a hearing, had to rush now to National Assembly to ask for a $1 billion loan to fight the insurgency. I think Nigerians have to vote this government out for us to get our bearings again in this country.
What do you make of the efforts of the present administration in fighting Boko Haram?
It was unsatisfactory.
Unsatisfactory?
Yes. Imagine you have got a daughter out of the 220 Chibok girls of between the age of 14 and 18. Imagine how you have been going to bed and how you have been waking up. A whole government cannot mobilize its law enforcement agencies, including the military, to at least know where those girls are. So their parents, as Nigerians, will be once more confident in their country and loyal and feel secure. The insecurity that is gripping the nation now, I think, is getting intolerable.
What do you think could have been done differently from what they are doing now?
Firstly, as early as the Boko Haram started gaining weight, I was expecting the leadership of this country should get together with the leaders of the neighboring countries, Cameroon, Chad, and Niger, and get into a serious agreement about the mobility, cross-border mobility of insurgents and arms and training facilities. That is the first step I think that should happen. And they know how capable Nigeria is. But it would appear until recently, not up to 2 months ago, anyway, according to what I see in the press, that the Nigerian leadership get together this neighboring president and discuss with them. And look at what is happening. Right away now, there is an aircraft in Kano airport with helicopters and ammunition meant for one of the neighboring countries, where we suspected arms and ammunition are coming through Nigeria. Cameroon, we have enough information from the press that they are fighting Boko Haram more successfully than Nigeria.
So with what we have on our hands as a country, you have the experience of the kind of people who live in the northeastern region of the country. If you are given that ticket and if you win the 2015 election, what are the first things that you would do as a president?
I think the first thing is to get credible intelligence. Why did our military fail to perform in spite of our numbers, in spite of the resources being bought and given to them? Why? We have to go through the intelligence reports, and again we have to get the presidents of the neighboring countries to make sure Boko Haram is denied the facility to move around and to train and to bring weapons into this country.